There's a lot of good news on the horizon as we struggle through a lot of the leftist agenda that is coming out of the White House. At least we've got some hope about the pandemic. Biden announcing yesterday, here's what he said about enough vaccines for every adult in America in a matter of weeks.
We're now on track to have enough vaccine supply for every adult in America by the end of May. Let me say that again. When we came into office, the prior administration had contracted for not nearly enough vaccine to cover adults in America. We rectified that. About 3 weeks ago, we were able to say that we'll have enough vaccine supply for adults by the end of July. And I'm pleased to announce today, as a consequence of the stepped-up process that I've ordered and just outlined, this country will have enough vaccine supply, I'll say it again, for every adult in America by the end of May.
Now, while that's good news, he can't help himself in taking pot shots at the previous administration that has delivered the vaccines to the world. They laughed. They mocked Trump when he set a target date of having a vaccine at the end of 2020. Well, guess what? We got the vaccine by the end of 2020. You know why? Because of President Trump's Operation Warp Speed. Remember Kamala Harris, who said she might not even take the vaccine that was recommended by the Trump administration? Well, now they've done a 180-degree pivot. Now, as the Wall Street Journal editorial board points out, the Biden-Harris administration has changed to full-throated encouragement, though not before continuing to trash the Trump efforts. The White House is saying, you just heard Biden. Oh, the previous administration didn't contract for enough vaccine. We fixed all that. That's a lie. As the Wall Street Journal points out, the supply was ramping up very quickly. The real problem was the last mile of distribution controlled by the states. Governors like Cuomo tried to satisfy political constituencies that wanted early access to vaccines, adding complexity and bureaucracy that confused the public. Biden made the same mistake, asking states to give priority to educators, read teachers' unions, school staffers, and child care workers. That's arbitrary and unfair. A 30-year-old teacher who may still work remotely until September is at far less risk than a 50-year-old FedEx driver who interacts with customers all day. As the Wall Street Journal points out, the fairest, least political distribution standard is age. The Trump administration's Operation Warp Speed also contracted most of the vaccine supply for production before approval by the FDA. 200 million doses each of Pfizer and Moderna, and 100 million of Johnson & Johnson. Biden ought to give vaccine credit where credit is due to the U.S. drug companies and Operation Warp Speed, but he can't help himself. He's being pulled and pushed and prodded by the angry lefties around him, and he is forced to be in this denial mode. And it's sickening. It really is. It's actually disgusting to watch the Biden administration refuse to give any credit where credit is due. Incidentally, the vaccine stuff is confusing. I was on the phone last night. States are letting 55-year-old and personally, and you can get mad at me if you want. I know people do. I want to get the vaccine, and I want to get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. I talked to several doctors who are of the belief that the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is better for our bodies, better for our DNA. It apparently distributes, you get the vaccination, it's a single dose, of course, and it's a different process. It's something, I don't understand the science of it, but something to do with, it's more like a flu shot than the Moderna and the Pfizer ones are. I don't know. I don't get it. But I know that I want to get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, and as soon as I'm eligible, I will. For people who are trying to get the vaccine, it can be very tricky. There is a vaccine finder that we were sent yesterday that has turned out to be a real good resource for people who are looking for a vaccination distribution center near you. If you all you have to do is text the keyword "shot" to 1-800-655-MIKE, and we'll send it back to you. It doesn't cost anything. Please don't text and drive. But honestly, it's a really good tool. It's all over the country. I think you enter your zip code, and it'll show you what's available near you and where and everything else. You can make an appointment. It's a real simple tool. So just we're happy to do this as a public service. Thanks to our friends at MyPillow, Mike Lindell, and their sponsorship of the MyPillow text line, which is the same number as our call-in line, 800-655-6453. That's 800-655-MIKE. Just text "SHOT" to that number, and we'll send you back the vaccine finder tool that enables you to find a location near you.